Yeah, good day everyone. It's your ever dynamic host again, Heritage Paladin. And on this section, I'm glad to introduce my guest to you, the person of Onions Man, popularly known as Onions, but with the name Omoniyi Olayinka. And this man right here is a software developer. He's the co-founder of BitPension. He's also the grant and hackathon award winner of the African Conference, as well as his extensive work in digital currency um, and companies like Convexity and a lot of other conglomerates he's um, involved in. I would welcome the person of Omoni Olayinka. Kindly introduce yourself, please.
It's a pleasure being here, Heritage. Thank you very much. What you've been doing for the African Bitcoin ecosystem is well seen, and you have your proof of work chain quite extensive. So, I'm on yours, man. I build blockchain focused products, and we built BitPension, a personalized pension and Bitcoin pension account for employees. Why we built it was inflation is never going away. Inflation is infinity, and devaluation of local currency, it's going to consistently be there. Loss of purchasing power for all the hard work you've done. You save your money and then you realize it's useless and worthless. So seeing this reality is something I wasn't comfortable with. I decided to come up with Bitpension, since Bitcoin is the asset that solves our inflationary monetary value system. Yeah, so that's the whole genesis of Bitpension.
Wow, great introduction. Thanks for giving us a clear insight what each pension entails. I will be um, going deep into the context of it. I have a great question for you, and the question would be, man, what happened to Naira, man? I had issues like going out of the country, coming back, seeing different exchange rate, foreign exchange rate, attending to different merchants, and you picking a call by one, and probably 5 p.m. in the evening, you already seeing a different rate from what you had conversations with your business partner. So my question is, a lot of critics argue that Bitcoin is volatile, just as you said, and I'm also here to prove to you that Naira is extremely volatile as well because it's not stable. But as someone who is an expert in tech, an expert in finance, who also understands the concept of blockchain, what will you say is your metrics and advice for people when it comes to mitigating volatility in finance? That's just the question. I would appreciate you doing justice to that.
One thing I've come to realize, which is a fact, central banks are just inflation managers. I see them nothing more, nothing less, in my opinion. From the very moment we no longer have the valuable asset that pegs the fiat currency. So central bank, all they were and they are and will continue to be is inflation managers. My only advice is the difference is the inflationary rate of fiat currencies are different across regions and countries, right? As it stands right now in the world, Kuwait currency is the one with the least inflation and the highest value, right? It's not talked about much, right? So that's just it. So all of them have the inflation level. It's just which one are you willing to live with? It's like picking your poison. But there is an alternative in Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is deflationary by design. It carries all the intrinsic value of a valuable instrument of storing assets, right? Of storing assets, storing finance. So for me, Bitcoin solves that problem, right? It solves that problem tremendously because there is no ceiling to how much inflation every fiat currency can encounter. And there is no, as long as there's no ceiling to that, there's no ceiling to how much value Bitcoin will capture, right? So why not go for the best asset in the longest term basis? That's just the basic truth. Every fiat currency will hyperinflate. Eventually, we hyperinflate, but Bitcoin will consistently be there and storing that asset value. So that's just my one advice to everyone is store in the best asset that maintains your value and protects you against inflation. And Bitcoin solves that.
Amazing. I mean, to everyone listening to us, Honest Man said, invest in assets, leverage assets. It's going to take you away, be an edge for you against inflation, retain your purchasing power instead of decreasing your purchasing power. So I will be paraphrasing some of the points he said. He noted the fact that fiat currencies volatile. He also noted the fact that central banks are just more like in charge of managing inflations. I mean, the inflation rather, they will not offer the solution you guys are really looking for. And you have to compare and contrast when it comes to like volatility metrics. There are assets and currencies that are deflationary, while there are assets that are inflationary. So both assets are volatile, but the context of inflation and deflation comes in their volatility. For Bitcoin, I noticed Bitcoin in the past 12 months has been able to appreciate in terms of comparison with fiat currency, that the United States dollar, at a rate of 128%, while Naira in the past 12 months has been able to like depreciate by the rate of 55% in comparison with um, United States dollars. And when we look at this, these are currencies that are collectively volatile, but then the volatility in one is appreciative, while the volatility in the other is depreciative. So to everyone listening to us, I would say choose your volatility wisely and then
And,
build it.
and,
Thanks.
one thing everyone should remember: value is constant, prices are emotional. Bitcoin has the value, fiat has the emotions.
Wow, thank you, Honest Man. I believe
Thank you.
whenever we invite you again for this section, I hope you have the time for us to always grace.
Definitely. I'm always going to be
So,
available.
and
Always going to be available.
I appreciate your time. To everyone listening to us, my final words will be focus on the price. The price itself is Bitcoin. And yes, on that note, I will be heritage for you wherever I am. Thank you, Honest Man.
It's a
See
pleasure.
you in any episode. Thanks.
Thank you.